This conference will now be recorded.
Now, where did we stop? So this was our last process we have executed. So bomb, bill of materials. So we checked out how this bomb is going to be getting exploded. So we are going to be having two types of bombs to work. One on the name of header level bomb, and second one is going to be item level bomb. So when you deal with the header level, our parent item will be relevant for pricing, whereas child items will be not relevant for pricing. Whereas at the same time, when you work with item level bomb, parent item will be not relevant for pricing. Child items are going to be relevant for pricing. And how we are going to be differentiating this one with the help of item categories. So for the parent item, you get TAQ and TAE when you deal with the header level bomb, and when you work with the item level bomb, TAP and TAN. So this is what you need to know when you work with the bomb concept. And I was trying to put down all the steps. What are steps you need to perform for the bomb explode? And this is going to be the entire activity which is going to be performed by the end user. As a consultant, we are not here to do any kind of things related to the bomb. So that is the reason we name it as master data. All this activity is going to be performed on the front end application, SAP GUI screen. Now, coming to the next concept, which today we are going to be looking into a concept called as sales document types. New topic, a lot of importance is there for this particular topic. This is going to be the controls. So backend activity, what as a consultant we are going to be performing it. Before you try to run any cycle in SAP, sales related cycle, creating an inquiry document or a quotation document or an order document, we need to do certain activities from the backend. Okay, so first let me try to put down all that information, and step by step we are going to be exploring those particular activities as a consultant before end user record the transactions, what need to be performed. Activities performed by the SAP SD consultant. Before running sales cycle. First thing, what we do, first step as an SD consultant, we need to work with SD enterprise structure. This is the first activity what we are going to be performing. Defining the organizational units required for sales and distribution and performing the assignment part of it. Define organizational units as the first step. Second, we try to assign organizational units. We're done with this particular part. We have created our SD enterprise structure. Then comes the second activity. So we need to work with the master data. So that's going to be the second part. And we started exploring in the master data how to deal with the customer master. Okay. So where I try to explain what are the prerequisites required to create customer records. As a consultant, all these things which I'm trying to put down over here is with reference to consultant job role. So we have checked out how to work with the account groups. Second, number ranges. Third, partner determination. These are the three things what we put in the backend. So these are the activities which are going to be performed on display IMG screen. So whatever things I'm just trying to put down is going to be part of your display IMG screen. And this is a place where consultant is going to be working. So to this particular screen, no end user will be given access. Only consultant can work on display IMG screen. So we are done with this particular part. So we looked into all the prerequisites which are required for the customer master creation. And once you have all these things, then we have explored how to work with the customer master and the scenarios based on that. And this customer master is going to be performed on SAP Easy Access. Okay, and this is going to be the activity which will be performed by the end users. So if end user need to create a customer record, as a consultant, we need to maintain all this information in the IMG screen. If these values are missing in the backend, so end user cannot create a customer record on the front end application. And to record this master data, what I required enterprise structure. So we're done with that particular part. Then we started working out with next master data, material master. And this material master creation is also going to be part of your end user job role, not going to be consultant job role. Okay, so this activity also is going to be performed on easy access screen. So this is the one. Customer master is going to be performed on SAP easy access screen. Material master is going to be performed on SAP easy access screen. End user is the one who will be doing it. Now, once you have your master data, you have a customer record, you have a material record. Now we started working with the third part, which we try to call it as a transaction data recording. Started running the cycle, sales cycle. Okay, so we started working out with the sales cycle. And when you're trying to work out with the sales cycle, we have different activities involved in it. So we have checked out how to record this inquiry transaction, followed by quotation, followed by order. Then we have looked into the concept of outbound delivery. Then we try to work out with the billing. This is what we have explored. And this is going to be taken care by the end user. It's going to be end user job role who will be doing this particular activity. Now, to record this particular transaction data, there are going to be certain things which we need to maintain in the backend. And that is what we are going to be exploring from today's class. As I mentioned, this is going to be taken care by the end user. To record the sales cycle, there is going to be certain prerequisites which need to be maintained from the backend. And the first prerequisite would be creation of sales document types. It's going to be the first one. So when you try to go for creating an order, we are using a document type called as OR. For quotation document, we are trying to use a document type QT. For inquiry transaction, IN. These we are not going to be using in the real time. These are all going to be the standards, and we are not going to be using standard document types for recording the transactions. So we are going to be dealing with the customized one. We are going to be creating our customized document types. Okay. And the reason for that, I'm not going to be doing any kind of changes to the settings provided for these document types by SAP. I'm going to be doing all the changes based on the client requirements to the customized one. That is what we are going to be exploring it. Okay. Second, we are going to be working out with sales item categories. We are going to be working with the item categories as well. So when you work with our inquiry, let's try to take these things itself. When you go for creating an order, it will be copied up as STAN. For quotation, AGN. For inquiry, AFN. In the same way, when you're trying to work out with the bill of material concept. So we have an item category getting TAQ and TAE for the header level BOM, and TAP and TAN for the item level BOM. So once again, these are all the standard item categories what we were trying to use it. Again, we are not going to be using the standards. We are going to be seeing how to create a customized item categories. We are going to be creating it. So we create and we do all the changes to our interests. We are not going to be disturbing the standards provided by SAP. We don't do any kind of changes to this. At the same time, once we know this, we are going to be working out with the sales scheduling categories. There are going to be different set of settings we need to maintain in the backend, followed by delivery document types, followed by billing document types, followed by copy controls. These are all going to be set of controls what we are going to be exploring it. Okay, so we have the concept of pricing controls. Are going to be different screens what as a consultant we need to map it in the backend, and this is what we are going to be doing it up. So from here onwards, what all things we try to perform, first we try to do everything from the backend, and to test whatever activity we have done in the backend seems to be working, we try to perform the testing process on easy access screen. So this is what you need to know. So to explain the concept of these things, sales document types, item categories, delivery document, I was trying to run the forward cycle using the standards. I was trying to run the cycle with the help of standard document types. So going ahead, we are going to be replacing all the standard document types with a customized one. We are not going to be using the standards anymore. This OR is going to be replaced by a customized one. Item categories will be replaced by a customized one. So for that, you need to know your item category determinations as well. Okay, so this is a topic which we are going to be looking after at the moment. How you are going to be creating your document types. So that is a concept. So when you deal with the sales document types, when you deal with the sales document types, now see, first thing, now where you are going to be creating it. Now where you are going to be creating this document types. This is the first thing. We use a transaction code called as VOV8. This is a T code used for that, VOV8. Okay, and as of now, when you're trying to work out with inquiry, we use a document type IN for quotation, QT, and for order, OR. Like this, we have different set of document types to record different business process and scenarios. When you're trying to work with the return sales, we use a document type called as RE. For credit note, use a document type CR. For debit note, we use a document type called as DR. For value contracts, use document type WK1. So each functionality is going to be recorded using different document types. And these are all the standards what we have in SAP. When you install SAP, by default, these things are going to be available. So what we do, we are not going to be using the standards. As I mentioned, we are going to be dealing with the customized one. How to create these customized document types. With starting letter, we maintain it as Z or Y. This is the format we are going to be using it. So how we are going to be differentiating between the standards and the customized one. Starting letter should be Z or Y. If you try to work in the real time, you will be observing this. We are not going to be using standards anywhere. We are going to be creating our document types and we activate the settings based on the client requirement to the customized one. So that is what we are going to be following it from here onwards. So first thing what I try to do, I'm going to be picking the standards. I'm going to be creating a customized one. I'm going to be copying it so that all dependent entries will be getting copied as well. And in the real time, we are not going to be creating it, we copy, because there are going to be a lot of dependent entries maintained with reference to delivery processing and billing activities. So better and the best practice would be copying the data from an existing one. So what I try to do, I'm going to be picking this IN, copy, rename, and try to create it on the name of ZRIN for inquiry. For quotation, ZRQT, and for order, ZROR. These are the codes what I'm going to be using it. Okay, so I'm just trying to do the same thing over here. Just trying to go by the path. So if you get into SPRO, SAP reference IMG, and it's going to be part of sales and distribution. It's going to be part of sales and distribution module. And under the sales and distribution, we try to get into sales. And under sales, sales documents. And when you expand the sales document, you can find sales document header. This is a place where you're going to be creating your document types. Because when you try to go for recording a transaction, let it be inquiry, quotation, or order. So I'm just trying to show you with reference to order. As soon as you try to maintain the document type information, so try to capture the sales area, try to record one transaction. I'm just trying to pick up a sold party, shipped party, and I'm trying to save it. Order will be created. Now, if I want to find out this order has been created using which document type, how to find it? So you can simply get into change mode or display mode, get into the details, click on this icon, header data. And when you try to hit on this header data, you will be finding under sales tab, your document type information is getting updated. And we recorded this transaction using what document type? OR. So this is what you need to understand. So sales document type information will be updated in the sales document at header level. Sales document type information will be updated in sales document at header level. So that is the reason when you try to work with the path, you will be finding this particular option, sales document header. So inquiry document type, quotation document type, order document type, delivery document type, billing document type, everything will be stored at the header level. And if you want to create sales document types, this is an option. And when you try to expand this one, sales document header, you will be finding this one, define sales document type. So which is nothing but transaction code VOV8. And when you hit on it, it's going to be the screen where you will be finding list of document types getting displayed. And if you want to search what values has been maintained for a particular document type, you can select it and get into details. Get into details, you can find these are the fields which will be controlling our inquiry processing from the front end. But this screen access will be not provided for the end users. This will be under the control of consultant. And as a consultant, based on the client requirements, you're going to be activating and inactivating the checkboxes required. And this is what we are going to be exploring. All this field usage. And here, the first step, I'm going to be taking this one as a reference, copy, rename, and create our own document types. And this is the icon to copy. So try to click on this copy icon, specify the target entry. So where I'm trying to name it as ZRIN, which stands for REL inquiry. It's the code and the description I'm trying to maintain for that. The length of the code, 4 letters. Just maintain the code, maintain the description, click on enter, Okay, an entry already exists with the same key. Let me try to create it on the name of YRIN. Okay, and there's a message I'm getting it, whether it is going to be relevant for copy control or not. And please try to make sure hit on yes icon. It's going to be relevant for copy controls. So click on this icon and make sure you try to save it. So number of entries copied 1. Try to save it and try to create a new request. Sales document types. On enter, and our document type is going to be getting created. And these are the tables in which dependent entries are getting updated, because we are trying to copy our document type from IN. So these are the tables in which the values are getting stored. So try to click on continue option over here, and our document type has been created on the name of YRIN. Now from here onwards, when we try to go for recording an inquiry transaction, we are going to be using YRIN as a code. We are not going to be using IN for recording inquiry transaction. We are going to be using YRIN. So if you try to come back, you will be finding that information over here. YRIN. This is the document type used. I'm just trying to update it as a YRIN in our Excel sheet. And the same process, I'm going to be following it for the quotation and order as well. So here, I'm going to be picking up next one, which is going to be QT. QT stands for quotation. So select it, hit on copy icon, rename it CRQT. I'm just trying to maintain the code and the description. Entry already used. I'm just trying to name it as YRQT. Relevant for copy control, yes. I'd save this. So tables will be getting updated. Dependent entries are getting stored in the tables. What tables are getting copied, system will be displaying it. So just try to check it, hit on continue, and try to save it. Done. So this is my second document type. For recording quotation, I'm going to be using YRQT. And follow the same process for the order. So pick up OR document type from this list, select it, copy, rename it CROR, Reliance order, or let me try to maintain it as YROR. Relevant for copy control, always click on yes option. The number of entries copied 1 and try to save it. So tables are getting updated. Click on continue and try to save it. Data was saved, document type created. So this is going to be the first step we do. So before you record any transaction in the real time, first activity after you work with the master data, go for creation of the document types. So pick up the standards, copy, rename it, and work it out. And this is a place where you're going to be creating the document types if you want to go by the transaction code VOV8. So from here onwards, we are not going to be creating any order using OR. We are going to be replacing with YROR. So if you go for creating an order now, VS01, use document type YROR. Maintain all the values required. And if you try to basically get into header data, you can find the document type used. Always your sales document type information will be updated at the header level. Remember this particular point. So this is the first activity, what we are going to be working it out, creation of our document types. Now, once you know how to create a document types, now let's try to start exploring the fields maintained in the particular screen. How these fields are going to be affecting creating an order. I'm just trying to explain with reference to order related fields. Same behavior, you're going to be finding it for the quotation as well as for the inquiry doc. So this activity, I'm going to be starting it from the coming class, not now. So because the number of fields, almost I required 3 hours for explaining each and every field maintained in this particular screen. So once I'm back, I'm going to be start working out with this particular activity. So once we're done with this, we are going to be performing the same thing with reference to your item categories. We are going to be exploring item category controls, and then we try to work with the rest of the things. So we are going to be exploring a lot of controls. As a consultant, what we do in the backend, we are going to be checking out each and everything. Okay. So let me stop it over here. The coming class, we are going to be dealing with this, please.
Sir, yesterday updated mistakenly I think you have updated the day before yesterday's class as 3rd of October.
I didn't get you.
Uh, I think you have updated day before yesterday's class for yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Let me say, I didn't check it properly. Maybe
Uh,
I'm going to be checking it out. I'm going to be doing that.
mhm. Okay. And one more thing, sir, when we are working on a real time basis, the configurations, what we do, we
Hmm.
do it in one transaction request, right? Or we maintain multiple transaction requests.
Multiple transport
Like we
requests.
have
We
transport
are going to
request.
be using multiple. We are not going to be maintaining everything in one transport request.
Hmm.
Enterprise structure configuration will be stored in one transport request.
Hmm.
Master data, let's say customer master data in one transport request, these sales document types in another
Hmm.
transport request. We use multiple. We are not
Hmm.
going to be using only one. We use multiple
Hmm.
for storing different configurations.
Hmm. Oh, okay, sir. And
That is the same process I'm trying to follow it over here. So when we
mhm,
start exploring the enterprise structure, I was using one request for the customer master, one request for determinations. I
mhm.
was using one request.
Yes, yes, sir. And on a real time basis, will we be working simultaneously on multiple projects, or we'll be working on a single project, at a time?
Depends. Sometimes when you're trying to, what happens, based or CEO for experience you have, sometimes you try
Hmm.
to handle two projects
Okay.
at a time. Or if you're trying to
Hmm.
work in the support environment, you may be
Hmm.
handling one project at a time, or based on the requirement, they may be assigning you to 2 to 3 projects as well.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, sir.
Depends. But
Hmm.
normally, you will be given access to work with one project at a time. If you're
Hmm.
part of an implementation project, you will be not assigned any activity related to the support. So if
Hmm.
you're acting in the support environment, sometimes they try to assign 2 support projects for you
Hmm.
or a single
Okay.
one.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.